This Raw was dog shit. Worst Raw of all time. Terrible. Hated it. We get a recap from Backlash. Stone Cold retains the belt, despite shenanigans from Shane McMahon, because every match in the Attitude Era has to have shenanigans in it. Alright, we open with The Rock. He's cutting a promo. Why do people like this fucking guy again? Finally, The Rock has come back to whatever city and state we're in. And the crowd goes, ah! Because they're a bunch of mouth-breathing retards. This guy has no charisma. He just relies on cheap pops. He speaks in the third person like a douchebag. He's got all these stupid catchphrases. Candy ass, Smackdown Hotel, Rudy Poo, candy ass. Fuck The Rock. Fuck this guy. Shane and the corporation interrupt. Crowd starts with the asshole chants. These are your marks, gentlemen. Notable signs, by the way. Asshole, no fat chicks, got hose, and Tom Farm is a homo. Wrestling fans, folks. Woo! Big tough guys do big tough guy things. They beat each other up. The Rock hits a woman. People's champ, everybody. He no-sells a beating, and then he says, fight me, Shane McMahon, and Shane McMahon says, okay. And I don't care. Jim Cornette is sitting in for the King. Thank God. I was hoping we wouldn't have to hear any misogynistic puppies chants, but my hopes and dreams were crushed later in the night. We'll get to that in a second. JR is yelling at me for some reason. I don't know why JR feels like he has to yell at me. But yeah. Backstage, Vince, Pat Patterson, and Gerald Briscoe are talking about The Undertaker, who kidnapped Stephanie McMahon. By God, The Undertaker, he kidnapped Stephanie McMahon last night at Backlash, which I don't care. I guess they're trying to tell a story. I don't just can I just watch some wrestling? Like, does there have to be a story involved? Do you have to, like, go through these motions to get me to care about the wrestlers? Just let them wrestle. Terrible. Cut to Shane and the corporation bragging about, we beat up The Rock. That's great. Then we get a wrestling match with, it's The Brood versus Sean Waltman and Kane. Sean Waltman, of course, being a great, amazing, athletic wrestler, greatest of all time. Unfortunately, they settled him with Kane, who shoots fire because marks like fire and explosions, and has no character, and he's just a big dude and just throws people around. And that's what happens. Kane hogs the spotlight. He does a bunch of power moves, and I'm totally bored. There's no athleticism. It's terrible. The Brood bloodbaths Kane, and Kane choke slams Sean Waltman for some reason, and I don't care. More backstage segments with Vince. He's talking to The Undertaker on the phone. The Undertaker wants Austin to deliver something, and I don't care. This isn't wrestling. Why aren't people wrestling on a wrestling show? Stone Cold Steve Austin comes out. Folks, let's talk about Stone Cold for a second. So, here's the geniuses at the World Wrestling Federation. Let's take Stunning Steve Austin, the Ringmaster, one of the greatest technical wrestlers of our generation, and let's turn him into a beer-drinking, swilling redneck who throws up the middle finger. It's great. It's wonderful. Way to ruin a perfectly good wrestler by giving him this retarded redneck gimmick. It's great. I love it. Austin comes out, and Michael Cole tries to interview him, and then Austin is a big tough guy who does big tough guy things. Austin's cutting a promo. Vince comes out to plead his case, to make him go deliver the thing that The Undertaker wants, and Austin says no. Still not a lot of wrestling. I don't know what's going on. but, you know, whatever. There's a new primetime special called SmackDown. Yeah, I'm sure that'll be... I'm sure with the way that Raw is going right now, I'm sure that'll be real successful. Then we get the second most disgusting wrestler of all time, Val Venus, who demeans women and makes jokes about his dicks. That's great. That's awesome. He's fighting D'Lo Brown. Again, just guys picking each other up and slamming each other. There's no submission holds in this match. There were no drop kicks. I hated it. It was terrible, and it made me bored. Nicole Vass comes out to seduce Val Venus, I guess, sure. And the announcers are just going on and on about how ugly this woman is. And it's like, really WWE, just all this misogyny is just, it's driving me nuts. We'll get to more of that. I'm not done ranting about that. We'll get to that in a second. But if you ask me, Nicole Vass is a strong, beautiful woman who don't need no man. And she should be wrestling. She should be in the ring because women's wrestling is awesome. Michael Cole is backstage interviewing the New Age Outlaws. I like Michael Cole. He's not JR. You know, he doesn't just yell and repeat things. Stone Cold! Stone Cold! Stone Cold! Michael Cole actually adds some brevity to the situation. Kind of tones it down a little bit. You know, just kind of really makes you sit and think about what's going on. I like Michael Cole. He can stay. It's Triple H versus Billy Gunn. I refuse to call him Mr. Ass. You want to talk about wasted potential right here. Okay, so this is completely indicative of the Attitude Era, folks. You've got Hunter Hearst Helmsley, a blue blood, a noble, uses a finishing move called the pedigree, and you turn him into this, I'm a big tough guy, because this is the Attitude Era, and that's what we do with our wrestlers. Billy Gunn, one half of one of the best tag teams of all time, the Smoking Guns, and now he's Mr. Ass, and he comes and shakes his ass, and it's like, wrestle! Stop with the gimmicks and wrestle! They have a match, more brawling, just a lot of brawling, and JR yelled a lot. Big Show and Mankind versus Bossman and Test. I didn't watch it. Bob Holly is beating up Al Snow and takes the hardcore belt. Worst belt in wrestling. I mean, why would you even do that? Finally, something that I might care about a little bit. Jeff Jarrett, amazing wrestler, versus The Godfather. Can we stop treating women like they're just tits and ass? Can we get some awesome athletic women in the ring? Can we give women a chance? Let's just give them a chance, you guys. Come on. Women are more than just tits and ass. It's awful. I hate it. Jeff Jarrett threw a beautiful drop kick. He did a DDT. Just cool moves. And just as I was starting to get invested in this wrestling match, Val Venus comes and interrupts the match by hitting on Deborah. Godfather gets the roll up and wins. Backstage, Jacqueline and Tori are making sexual innuendos and rubbing on some beefcake, and I had to vomit. I don't know what more I can say about just fuck it. Bradshaw versus Ken Shamrock. Ken Shamrock, great fighter, very technical. Comes out wielding a baseball bat. Sure, why not? Before the match even begins, Ron Simmons, not Farouk, Ron Simmons, okay? Let's show some respect to our wrestlers here. Comes in, Test comes in, a big brawl ensues, and I don't care. Shane McMahon versus The Rock. Corporation interferes, it turns into a brawl. Great. Finally, the penultimate section of the show. Penultimate? No, whatever. Fuck it. The Ministry brings Stephanie to the ring, And well, they're getting ready to bring Stephanie to the ring. Sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself a little bit. Getting too excited. All this blood and guts and fire and explosions. It's getting me so excited. God forbid we see any actual wrestling on a wrestling show, but whatever. Where was I? I don't fucking care anymore. Sean Waltman comes back to the ring. He calls out Kane. Owen Hart and Jeff Jarrett come out and beat him up. Kane comes out, and then he attacks Sean for some reason. Tough guys do tough guy things. The Ministry brings Stephanie out on what looks like a crucifix. JR says, is Stephanie going to be sacrificed here? Yes, JR, they're going to kill a woman on live television. Very smart. Very smart of you. Pallbearer starts a ceremony to wed Undertaker and Stephanie McMahon. Ken Shamrock runs in, he gets squashed. Big Show runs in, he gets squashed. And then Austin comes to make the save. And I'm actually kind of excited about this. He chases everybody out of the ring. He unties Stephanie. Stephanie gives him a big hug. And I don't know. Maybe this is a new direction for Steve Austin's character. Maybe there's a McMahon union coming up. Who knows? We'll see what happens. Final thoughts. Garbage. Nothing but big, stupid power moves. Nothing but brawling. Terrible, misogynistic characters. Wasted potential on great technical wrestlers. Just garbage. I hated it. I hated all of it. I'm done. I'm done.